Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Finding Happiness podcast. I am your host, Bobby. Today we have a co-host,
Sam. What's up, everybody?
and we have a very special guest. And we're actually in his house today. So we have the notorious agent, Vic.
What's happening, everyone?
We are located, today we're in Beverly Hills, California. Man, it's nice out here, bro.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
We're exactly on 417 North Beverly, which is probably one of the premier streets in Beverly Hills, right next to Rodeo.
So we came out here a couple weeks back, last week, and we shot some photography. Man, it was beautiful, right?
It was.
From the people to the stores to everything out here. And you guys get to be down, like right downtown, right on the next block, on the block. So how does that feel?
Well, it's like it's the mecca of entertainment, right? I mean, it's like where people come and you see the Hollywood tour buses. Right, they're constantly here on the street, so it's kind of surreal, man, to be working here and have an office here, and just to be around that energy, the tourism, the amount of affluency that you see in this area, bro. It's insane.
Yes. Okay, so give us an introduction, because it hasn't always been Beverly Hills, California. It hasn't, bro. Like, you have not always been here. So give us an introduction of what you're currently doing right now before we dive a little bit deeper into who Vic is.
Yeah, no problem. Right now, I'm currently the managing partner at Sync in Beverly Hills. I manage the brokerage. I make sure that the agents are performing, kind of taking on a manager role plus production. So I do a little bit of both now. More, everyday activities, more based towards the agents and making sure that they have the tools and resources to succeed in this type of market. So it's crazy right now. I went from production to being a manager in Beverly Hills. I like what I do, bro, but it comes with its challenges like everything else. It's funny because I was an agent, so now I'm managing agents, so it's an interesting change in perspective.
Do you feel like because you're an agent, now you've seen all the problems or all the stuff that was wrong or that should be fixed because you're in the trenches in there? Does that help you now manage the agents to be like, look, I've been doing it for a couple years now. I know what works, and then I know some of the stuff that doesn't work?
Yeah, I can relate to the challenges, right? I think for example, when you're coaching a new agent and you're telling them what needs to be done to get business, I've done it, so I know the challenges that they're going to go through. So it's easier to sit down on the one-on-one and just to relay the information like, hey, I know you're going to have fear making a cold call. I know it sucks starting the door knocking and getting rejected 100 times.
Bro,
but I know if you keep doing it, that there is a result. Nowadays, I get on the phones with them. So I do like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the week. I do prospecting hours where they hear me call.
Okay.
So I'm not just telling them, I'm not just saying it. I'm doing it with them. So, and then when they see the results or they see someone, what they think I have the level of success doing it, I think motivates them a little bit more, puts a little bit more confidence in them to do the same thing.
Definitely. So how many agents do you guys have here over at Sync?
Well, we're ramping up, man. We really blew up this year. The brand's been around for 5 years. This year, we really, I think, took it to the next level with the amount of great agents that we've added to Beverly Hills location. We were sponsors at Inman Connect a few months ago, which really gave us some market awareness. It was a national event. So we're creeping towards about 40 agents now at this office. Close to 130 nationwide. We have Beverly Hills, Woodland Hills, Studio City, and we also have Miami.
Whoa. Okay.
All right.
Is there anything else over there on the East Coast, or is
No,
Miami?
that's it.
Is
Miami.
Okay.
And obviously we're always looking to expand. So I'm sure we're going to pop Texas eventually.
It's coming, you guys. Get ready.
The CEO is super aggressive, so wherever he goes, we're gonna move. So
That's cool. Okay, so you've been an agent for how long?
4 years.
4 years. So it's crazy because it seems like a long time, but then 4 years. Hey,
4 years.
Shit, bro. Like, dang. So you've accomplished a lot. You've gone through a lot. Challenges. Goals. You've accomplished. What were you doing 5 years ago?
Well, 5 years ago, I was in rehab. I was an alcoholic. I was just trying to get sober. That's literally where I was. Like when I started real estate is when I was like, I think first 2 months of sobriety.
Oh shit. Okay.
So the first year, and I tell people all the time, the first 2 to 3 years, I really wasn't even 100% obsessed with real estate. I was more obsessed with staying sober, personal development, and really fixing those habits that I've taken with me my whole life that created that toxic moment or event of life, which was about 10 years. So a lot of it was like reprogramming for the first 3 years.
So then, okay. So let's back up. How did you land? How did you get into real estate?
So I actually, when I was an alcoholic, I thought that, hey, I'm going to go do real estate, easy money, it looked effortless. And I actually went to Keller Williams in Antelope Valley, took the school there with Kathy was the trainer there, and then went through the process. I didn't take my test until about a year or two after I went through the school, which when I was deciding to get sober, I needed something a little bit more flexible so I could do AA and do my rehab at the same time, be able to make some money. So that's kind of where I fell into real estate. It wasn't really like a passion of like showing homes or like I love architecture or helping people. To be honest with you, yeah, I love helping people now, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I want to help someone find a dream home.
Which is like the most generic answer that most people give. I don't think you can ask that question usually. Why do you do it until I think 5 to 10 years? So you get a real answer from it because because everyone's afraid, like, well, I don't want to be the bad agent, so then they won't work with me. But okay, so with going that route, with meeting Kathy and then taking the year to 2 years to take the test, what would you say was the moment you realized real estate, I can do something with real estate? Real estate, okay, it has a power to it. I can change lives or I can help someone build wealth.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what real estate is until you get into it. And I know you've had the same aha moment, right? You got into it in marketing and decided, wow, it's a massive massive landscape. And it's not only marketing, but there's so much that you could do in digital content creation. Same thing with me. I walked in, I'm like, dude, there's a lot more. It's not just buying and selling homes. There's building a team. There's investing. There's developing. All these different facets you can make money. So, and being where I've made money, but now seeing what people are scaling and the wealth they're building, I was like, man, this is it. But again, finding the way was, I think, the biggest struggle. And what I did early on is I remember going to Keller. I would be there, and people will tell you the story. I would always be there. I would position myself in the middle of the floor on purpose so people could see me, right? I didn't know anybody. You remember Keller Williams? All the doors are pretty shut, so people are kind of in their own lane. Yeah, you had some mega teams, and so the first few weeks I just observed. I was reading the Millionaire Real Estate book by Gary Keller, and my whole motive for the first, or intention, the first 2-3 weeks is to figure out who I wanted to be mentored by. Because I figured it out real quick, bro. It's going to be hard to do it on your own. Yeah, it's you can, but if I could pick up on a mentor, it would accelerate my growth that much faster. And that's where I met Rima. Okay,
so that's where Rima came in. So while you're doing all of this, you're still battling the addiction. You're still going to the A's, like you said. So would you say, I guess now it'd be like you had to work on you to even get here today. It wasn't necessarily just the real estate part of it. It's more of your habits, right? Who you are, what you're willing to fix. And then if you fix all that, it goes into real estate. You could probably close deals. I mean, shit, with the being focused, you probably close a lot of deals, man. Like,
I know. And everything that I have today has nothing to do with real estate. It's all mindset. I saw all of this, bro. I told my wife came with me the other day. We were parking the car. I distinctly remember visualizing a parking garage and nice cars in that parking garage where I parked. Now there's Porsches, Teslas, sometimes Ferraris, and me coming up to an office with glass. Now I didn't know there was this office, but I pictured it. So look at this glass on the panels here in the offices. So I saw some form of this, and I believed that somehow the universe would get me here.
And then it was real estate was like the tool. Like
real estate was the vessel.
It was the vessel to get here. But the mindset, you guys, so he is fucking buff. Like he takes everything he does. That one thing I know you can't see in this too, but he takes fitness seriously. Just he doesn't even have to tell you that. You can go to his page and he just by being consistent and showing up, it already tells us right there. Okay, he He knows what he's. So, if you wanted to go to the fitness route, let me ask you this: what was the reason why you never went the fitness route, as far as like maybe a coach or Personal trainer. Yeah. So I'm curious, like, because you have so much dedication there, and I see it there, and you put so much into it. What made you not go that route and then stick with real estate, but then still be consistent over here?
I don't know, bro. Everyone asks me, why don't you step on stage? Or, yesterday I got my body fat check. It was like 5%, which was it's kind of off. It's about 7%, so it's very low to be able to maintain that. I think I like the challenge of the fitness. It's more of a sanctuary for me.
Okay.
Right? It's where I go to take care of some of the things that I'm mentally struggling with. That's kind of where the place I like it to be. I never wanted to mix it with pleasure, work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
No, absolutely.
So I always kept it sacred for me. It's like it's a ritual. And in terms of like being a coach, you know what's funny, man? I've been asked the same thing in the real estate space. And the other day I was thinking to myself, why haven't I gone in that direction? Why don't I coach other agents, whether it's performance, nutrition? And I have no passion for it.
Okay, so that's what it comes down to.
No, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Because I don't have patience, and I don't like bullshit.
Okay, and that's usually all you get is excuses. Why didn't you do this? Because I got home late. No, you didn't want to do it.
Yeah. And I think someone in the position of a coach, a mentor, has to have a little bit more patience and empathy towards the client. And I just don't have it. I'm what you call as an example.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I lead by example. And I'm comfortable with that, being that person. Like, I want to be the guy where people look at and say, "Fuck, that's the guy."
I know, right? Yeah. I want to be that guy.
And he doesn't bullshit. He doesn't put anything down your throat. He just exists at a higher being, and that's gravitating.
So I like that because then you use your fitness as you said, your vessel, and then you focus on real estate, but all of it kind of aligns. So I feel like I'm going to ask you this in 10 more years. 10 years from now, and be like, you'll probably be a coach, man. Because I think that's when everything kind of shifts a little bit. Like by then you'll be like, okay, I have all the knowledge. Now I can get you guys where you're going to go.
But you know what I was thinking of the other day? What I really want to do is I feel like my purpose is to show people that you can crush it in all parts of your life.
Yes.
I think people compartmentalize that shit. So you see guys who are great at fitness but are not great husbands, or great maybe in a career and are not great in fitness, right? It doesn't coexist in other spaces of their lives. I really think you can. Yeah, I know balance is bullshit. And I understand that because time, bro. We don't have enough time. But that 10 minutes you're with your wife, you could crush it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You could be a beast mode with your wife for that 10 minutes. You could be a beast mode in the gym for the 30 minutes. You could be a beast mode 12 hours at work. It's just a matter of having that mentality that with everything I get into, that I'm doing it with 100% intent. And I'm present in the moment.
Yeah.
We talked about that time management, just being with the kids for 10 to 15 minutes in a car ride versus YouTube versus, being with the kids where everybody's around.
But being the best dad in that car ride, right? That 10 minutes being so impactful for your kids that it even doesn't matter if you're there with 2 hours on your phone. That 15 minutes is way more instrumental in their growth.
So I like to see where you're at today because it's amazing, man. From the Antelope Valley to Beverly Hills. To all the agents out there that are talking about, I want to get into luxury. What's one piece of advice you have for them?
It's not what you think, man.
And that's what I want.
It's not what you think, bro. Everyone looks at the glitz and glamour. How 90% of the people that claim to sell luxury, they don't sell shit. They're just at the broker caravan pretending that they're in it. Well, not pretending, but they're at a $30 million listing. It's not their listing, nor do they have a buyer. They're just creating content, right? Fake it till you make it. It's not like when you go from selling median price point properties, you sell more. You get this hit of dopamine every time you close, so you get more momentum.
Okay.
With luxury, you're not closing 10, 15 in a year. You might close 2 or 3. Right? So you might have months where you're not getting paid. So how do you go through those moments, right, when you're going after the big fish, but you're not getting those little increment hits of dopamine with closings and financial reward? So there's longer gaps between the time you get paid. So it's a lot more challenging mentally
Okay.
And then there's money that needs to be invested. Like you're going to take on a luxury listing, and if you need to stage a property, some of these stagings are like $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 on listing agent.
Man, imagine that, a stage, like having, but the houses are big, they have to stage them, and they're worth a lot of money.
And
so
they're not guaranteed to sell, bro.
Yeah.
See how many expire over 20 million.
So
You could turn your wheels for 6 months and you could invest $75,000 with no guarantee of getting any of that back.
so it's almost like you have to go through the reps before you even get to like luxury. Go through your own market, take the wins, take the losses, build up, learn financial, learn how to handle your finances, because you won't close deals for 3-4 months maybe at a time. Because most agents right now, they close it, they get their money, and they kind of spend it. I see it all over Instagram. Everyone's out on the weekends fucking partying. Well, if
Yeah,
you're not
they
closing,
party until their CPA. It looks
I'm like, dang, how you guys always out?
30,000, bro. The problem with this industry is there's a lot of money that's made, and not a lot of us have the financial literacy to be able to really run a business. We don't look at it as a business. We still think we're just agents that get a commission. Even I was guilty of it, man. I spent a lot of money last year, like a lot of stupid materials and things like that, shopping in Vegas, just spending it mindlessly. But this year, I really had to buckle down, talk to my CPA, really structure the finances, because you have to grow. Like, you have to be a profitable business. And most of us, we think we're profitable because we get big checks. But at the end of it, with the time spent on it, we're not profitable.
Yeah, I'm going to say it takes a little bit of time. But what was the moment where you realized, I got to stop spending money, I got to get my shit together following this year?
I think as you spend money, you realize it's not what it seems to be. You can go on vacations, luxury, 5-star resorts, go to Gucci and buy a few things or whatever. But it's all sets and collects dust eventually. And I see it all the time because I look at my closet. I'm like, those shoes are still collecting dust.
Like, damn you, I'm going to wear you when I get time, man, when I get time.
And then when you get into this space of Beverly Hills, and when you, if you're social enough to talk to people and really engage with them, which I do, and I'm blessed to be around a lot of wealthy people, I realize where they put their money to use all the time. They don't buy things. They put it to work, man.
So would you say that's one thing that they all have in common?
All of them. Because
Okay.
I see their proof of funds. I went from looking at, first-time home buyer, $20,000 in the bank, to looking at like their wealth management portfolio of like $60 million in assets.
That can inspire someone, man. I'm telling you.
Bro,
if see
when
something
you
like
look
that-
at $60 million, but here's the interesting thing. They don't have $60 million in the bank.
Yeah, it's like
The $60 million is invested.
Yeah.
They might have in the bank like $200,000 or $300,000. So that's when I was like, whoa, this is crazy, right? All of it, and they continue to pour money into the investments. I have an agent here crushing it, Kevin, and he's like, I think he just acquired his 8th rental property, but he's starting to really get into the investment space. So every check he gets, he's literally putting into a new property. So he's not holding any cash, constantly investing. But again, that's a mindset.
Yeah. I was to say that's coming from other brokerages. I mean, not every agent thinks that way. It's usually when someone gets like a mentor or a coach or something like that, right? I mean,
Or you seek, bro.
or okay, you seek, or like, yeah, you go out there and you look for it because that's the type of person.
bro, let's be real. Me, you, us, we don't come from millionaire families, right? I don't. My dad's a immigrant, came here with about $38, and his motto was work to buy a house, and that was the end-all game, right? The American dream was to buy a house, and that's it. Not buy multiple houses, just one. I had to pay that house off. That was it, bro. And we come from that mindset. So now we need to actually take the initiative to learn about investing, to take the risks, to pave a new way for your kids and your kids. And so that they can see that, hey, there's a lot of reward on it. There's a huge reward in wealth building. And it's not just properties, but understanding stocks, understanding different investment vehicles.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, damn, man, like we've been, we're conditioned. So the struggle for me was like to invest the money. Because my dad I was like, save it.
Yeah.
So I remember when I invested my first $10,000 into the stock market, bro. I was looking at that stock every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can imagine. Even now, it's like,
Now, I just park it and don't even look at it, right? You trust the process, right? It's an investment process. It takes time. Every investment has a time frame where you want to see your return. So it's crazy. So
should agents invest, or what should agent do with their commission check? what would you recommend if it was you getting your check after closing a deal? What would you do with that check?
Reinvest it, man. You have to invest it. Whether and it could be two things, right? You can invest it into stocks or real estate or any kind of investment that's going to return, or invest in yourself.
Yes.
At least invest in yourself.
Yes.
Like don't buy the Gucci, buy a seminar, buy a retreat. Go and go meditate for 3 days and really figure out your identity in this industry. Because the number one question I ask most agents is, what is your identity? Who do you want to become? They don't even know what they want to become in the industry, so it's very difficult for them to build a brand.
They'll just give you numbers. Well, I want to close 10. I'm like, yeah, but who do you want to become? Not how many numbers you want to close.
The short term, 10, 15, but like you do brand all the time, right? So your thing is, hey, let's create authenticity with who you are, and let's bring that to the audience.
Because that's going to close the deals eventually.
100%. You
don't have to worry about the 10. That's going to close 20 deals by just focusing on the brand, on the authenticity, on just that. The rest of it will come. So, man, okay, so you've gone through some stuff, and I think that's is the reason why you got here today. So someone that is going through a part of their life where they're not sure what's going on. I don't have anything. I don't have a job, but I have passion. I want to do something. What would a piece of advice for someone who is lost to help?
Man, start from a place of gratitude. I think when you're in that position, there's a lot of self-pity, right? There's this victim mentality that you have to get out of, and I was there for years. So I blamed everything around me, and I could never look at the mirror. The mirror is tough to face at times because I think all of us know, bro, that we created what we created.
Yeah,
it's our fault. The accountability sucks, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you did it, right? You decided to drink heavy. You decided to quit your job. You decided to put yourself in a situation. So I think first and foremost is awareness. Like let's just be real, right? Let's be okay with the fact that we are the one that's making a mistake. Absolutely. And then from there, once you start from a place of gratitude, it's really just being clear of mind. Most of the biggest problem is people don't think clear. They're constantly been bombarded by the phone. One thing I would definitely recommend is if you're looking to find yourself, or you're looking for a journey, get off social media for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because you're never going to find, bro, you're constantly going to be measuring. It's going to constantly reinforce that jealousy, that toxic traits in what's developed in you, and it's going to like blow that up internally. You're never going to be able to find a clear mind through social media.
Yeah, get away from it. Even if it doesn't bug you, like get away for a little bit. I mean, you got off of it for a bit, right? You kind of control yourself as far as how much you're on and then how much you're off. He pops on. I'm like, there you are, man. You've been gone, bro.
No, bro, I got a timer on it now.
Okay.
Have you tried it? No, even though, bro, this is the fucking funniest thing. I get a timer, and it never works because I always have to extend the time. So I'm like, I don't even know why. The other day I was thinking about why I even have a timer. I never use it. It's never been 15 minutes. I'm like, give me another 15 minutes. Give me another 15 minutes.
Also, it pops up and you kind of say, I want more.
Okay. So, but if you do that 10 times throughout the day. But the timer, I think it's more of just me seeing that, hey, man, I'm maybe overdoing it. Because have you gone into your screen time?
Yeah. We were talking about that today. And then what do we do? Lame ass excuses. Football was on there because of work. And then I'm like, most of the time I'm just scrolling
No, bro, but think about add the hours up in a year and then take that away from your life.
Yeah.
That's where I think it's and a lot of it's always I don't know, what is yours, 6-7 hours?
Yeah. That's what it was. 6
7?
hours. So it was
6 and 8 or something like that.
And that's just everything. So pick up time. But think about that, bro. 6-7 hours, a work shift.
Yeah, it's a full shift on there, dude.
Of work
my phone's putting in more work than most people at a job. So
I guess what I'm thinking of is how do we it's going to get worse. It seems like that's where everything is headed.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't seem like this interaction is a thing anymore. Everything's on the phone. So how do you I've exercised a few different models about it, but I'm like, how do I pull away but still be relevant and realize that it's the only way to really do that is eventually leverage a social media marketing team and they just do all your content. It's guys like you that are going to be the most lucrative and sought after because I don't want to shoot it anymore because I know if I use it, then I'm on it for another extra 3-4 hours.
And it creates problems within relationships. It does a lot.
Oh yeah, me and my wife. I mean, it's probably like the number one thing we ever kind of have a little debate about, or we're quarreling about, is her on her phone or me on my phone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Those are the normal. Those are normal now. It's just like if you don't fight, that means you're probably not on the phone, or you share an account or something, or something like that. But
it's the thing is like you go to these restaurants and you look at people on their dates, and you could probably tell sometimes they're on a first date or it's a new relationship, and they're just both on their phones, man. Like, how are you going to connect to that individual?
yeah, and then most of the time I don't even show up to like them. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it. Just hit me up later on their phone and stuff like that.
And then I think with depression and going back to like people who are having tough times, it's extremely hard to get out of that, man. Let's get out of that social media, because in the same token, yeah, it reinforces like how shitty in the position you're in, but then there's a little bit of dopamine you get from it because it kills time. So then people are stuck in this. I think it just like grasps them, man, and then they can't even get out of it.
No, it's just boom, boom, boom. Then you ask them what you've seen. Oh, just a bunch of crap. Nothing really, just funny stuff. I'm like, dang.
I mean, look
6 hours.
at TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
TikTok's a really good example. Like, the space has value, right? There's it's crazy how many views you can get or how viral a video can get. But I think what people, or real estate agents, for example, they don't realize is I don't look at the amount of views. I love the views. Trust me, the views I feel like are market share or market awareness, right? It's good for branding. But I want a return eventually. I want the content to return something. I've done it so long now that it actually does. So I guess my point I'm making is keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because it does work. But if you're consistent, if your message is consistent, the problem I see is like you probably see it all the time as a professional at this, is people are inconsistent with their brand. They're saying one thing one day, or they're acting a certain way, then they try to tweak it midway, and then they're like in their third year of business, and they're trying to rebrand the whole thing.
Yeah. A lot of rebranding happened and stuff, but it's really just we're so fixated on not being ourselves and being someone who the market's supposed to be. That's where the rebranding comes. That's where the message kind of gets foggy. We all know somewhat of how we want to start our business, and that's all we really have to start with, that message, and just it should evolve eventually, but no rebranding. Just stick to the message, to your message. In the beginning, that's what we try to tell the clients. Hey, we don't have to do any rebranding. Just what is overall you want people to remember you by? What do you want to talk about? And then we'll just keep talking about it, just in different days, different conversations, but the message kind of stays the same. And then eventually it evolves over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, authenticity, man, and then just stick whatever you want to say, whatever your message, just stick with it. You'll attract the right people and then push away the wrong people. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you attract who you want to work with. I mean, that's always what I've always said. I mean, I fired clients, just because I didn't feel like I want to work with them for 30 days.
That's a lot, dude. 30 days is a lot, man. Yeah.
Like, imagine in real estate, like if you have to have the client for like 30, even 60, maybe sometimes 90 days, depending on how long of an escrow, you have to deal with that person for 90 days, that headache. And we just talked about it. You let go of a client, and guess what? 2 more opened up.
Yep.
It's always the name of the game with us too. Like, being able to say no sometimes is as important as taking some business.
And it's good for your energy, for your soul. And I mean, for the most part, like we all know when we don't want to work with someone or we're going to lose someone. Like, because, I mean, the red flags are there.
Yeah.
You're either not, communication sucks, you're just not really getting along. So, okay, obviously something's wrong here. Yeah. So we adjust to it, and if it doesn't work out, you move forward. But I told my wife's like, well, what's next? I was like, what do you mean? I was like, there's no end game. I was like, we just keep going. And
Vic, so I have some questions for you. You said you were a big mindset guy. So am I. So what's your morning routine like in the mornings?
Good question, man. A lot of people ask me about my morning routine. It's super simple now. I've tried so many different routines. The time has always been the same. I don't know if you guys follow me, clocked in. I don't do the clocked in thing anymore. That's to avoid me going on social media. That's why I don't do it. But it's 3:30 to 4 o'clock has been kind of my pocket where I've been getting up for like the last 3 to 4 years. And partly because it's the most time I can get quiet right before the day starts. And my phone usually will start pinging around 7 a.m. So I know that those 3 hours I can get my meditation, journaling, and all that good stuff. But as far as like how it goes the morning, is the wake up, and then first thing I'm doing is water, sea salt with a little bit of Himalayan salt and some squeezed lemon. And I don't know why I do that. But
I was like, hey, I'm about to try that too.
Let me tell you why. I didn't even research this shit. I just believed the guy who told me to do it, which is my coach, my former coach. And he's still a really good friend of mine, and I still consider him my coach because anytime I need him, I can go to him. Jeremy Hyder from Optimal Performance. He's the one who does it, and he told me something to do with your pH balance and gets everything in order. And I've been doing it. I feel great, so why stop? So I do that, but I will research it after this podcast. Just in case somebody asks me, I can at least define why I'm doing it.
So is it water and
I use a little bit of Himalayan salt, put some under my tongue, and then I squeeze some lemon.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
What I do is warm water with flax seeds and lemon.
That's good. You get some fiber.
Yes.
That'll make you go to the bathroom.
Take a dump in the morning. Dang, I'm about to use it.
Yeah, fiber. I'm like, okay. So then it's right into journaling. Journaling, it used to start as like entries, and then now I just kind of really write down the chief aim.
Okay.
So whatever it is that I have set, and it's crazy because everything I have written has happened.
Nice.
Like right now, since I'm really diving into like commercial, I love the commercial space of real estate. One of my primary goals that I write down every day is to be one of the nation's recognized and one of the best brokers in the commercial space, which I will be. And that's just what I write down, man. It just kind of reinforces why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? And it also has like a monetary, so I talk about how much money I want to make, and I kind of, not that I give myself a time frame. I don't like time frames because I think sometimes it can create some anxieties.
Yeah.
But I have the confidence that it'll happen, and I'm not too attached to the time frame. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then I'll write that down and maybe some affirmations, and then I'll go into meditation. Okay. And meditation's a 20-minute. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe, have you ever heard of him?
I've never heard of him.
Okay, look him up, Dr. Dispenza. Yeah, awesome, man. Really, really good on like meditation. He really talks about reprogramming the mind. Okay. So in the meditation, you go through this process where you're creating a new version of yourself. Right, so that version that Sam wants to be, or Bobby, you want that version, and like he teaches you to go through it, visualize it, and literally when you get out of the meditation, you are it.
Okay.
So I get up that motherfucker and feel like a man. Bro. I feel like that guy that like I'm visualizing, right? That top commercial broker. I feel like it. I put a suit on like it, and it's crazy when you start. I don't want to say pretending, but when you in your imagination you start living it. You find yourself like the behaviors becoming it before it becomes this actual success. So when you actually get it, it's not as thrilling anymore because you've already been there.
It's like you're forming that person already,
Yeah,
and then that's why.
It's a surprise for everyone else. Everyone else is gonna be talking about you. Oh my God, look at what you did.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
No,
like
I was already there.
I've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
You just see the title now, or like the man, but I've been forming.
Yeah, the man was there. The man was there at my parents' house, bro. When I started real estate, when I used to live with my parents, the notorious agent was built there.
Was the meditation for those who say, "Oh, I just can't figure it out. It's hard."
That's bullshit, bro. That's all that. That's the why I said I don't like coaching.
Okay, because like that's the excuse. I hear all this, like, I can't meditate. My mind doesn't let me.
You could binge on Netflix. You should feel more bad about that than being able to sit for 5 minutes and just give your mind clarity.
So it's just, okay, so when you're meditating, you're in a room, it's just peace of quiet.
I put my Bose noise canceling headphones on. They're huge. And I just crank it out for 20 minutes, man. And it's crazy when you get into a deep meditation, you feel like this numbness. It's kind of like this opioid effect. It's weird. Cool. If you've ever taken like a Vicodin, it's kind of like the same feeling, but it's definitely like a natural high. It's crazy. And
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna start looking into that just because, again, I think getting started might feel a little, it just takes time. I think every time, every next day is gonna feel better.
Have you done it, Sam?
I've done something similar. I just sit by myself though. I wake up at 6 and sit on the couch or on the floor. Yeah. But I just close my eyes and I just sit there and I listen to everything that's around. The AC goes on.
Just being aware. You're trying to practice awareness. Yeah. Which is, again, it's meditation in its way, right? You want to be present.
Yes, that's the biggest thing with me is being present with everybody that comes in my path and just kind of like just meditating that like that.
Michael, it's crazy, Michael. There was a story about Michael Jordan. Have you seen the 6-part series?
No.
The Bulls? Watch that. Because you always want to watch a high performer at on the back end of it. Like, how does he become who he is? And it's like they're doing a voiceover on a video, and they said it wasn't his ability, his talents or skills. It was Jordan's ability to stay present. Mm-hmm. So that tells you that he probably meditated, or he did have some kind of, like on the court, meaning like when you're present, it doesn't matter about the last shot you just missed. You're just going to do the next play. That makes sense?
No, absolutely.
So you wouldn't let whatever would happen before affect the future or the present. And that's where I think meditation really helps, is because when you're centered and you're constantly working on being centered, you're not going back to the old failures and the resentments and the rejections. That doesn't matter. It's not even connected to you anymore. It's over. I think where we struggle is we can't break that weight, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's that struggle part.
We carry it. Like, we like to share it. Like, I share my alcoholism, but it's gone, bro.
Yeah,
I look back at it, and even like I don't even want it to be like connected to me. Mm-hmm. I just share it because I know that somebody out there might be struggling with the same thing, and I could be some kind of light of hope for them. And because I know you can make it. But in terms of like it being connected to me, it's only used as some form of reminder from where I've come from. But I don't like to go back and like to think about it and create that same emotion. It doesn't belong in this new space of
Exactly. I like that.
Love that, bro. Love that. So yeah, meditate out there, you guys. Get you whatever.
You need to meditate, bro. Your mind's all over the place.
Trust me, man.
You would benefit a lot from it.
I try. So I'll get up about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and even then, the earlier I get up, all I'm doing is starting work earlier. And that's why I'm getting up. So I need to switch it to get up for me and not get up because I have more work to finish or I know tomorrow. So that's where like my thing is. Or get up earlier. But, dude, honestly, my alarms are set from 3:30, 3:45, 4, 4:30, 5. And it takes all those ones to finally get me up.
You might as well just wake up at 3:30.
Trust me, because after that,
you're not even getting quality sleep at that point.
After that, I just don't want to get out of bed because my wife has like the AC to like 69 degrees. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to get up out of bed. Yeah, trust me, bro. But I feel like after the conversation, I think with the even like white noise, because we sleep with that at night.
Nice.
Even with
like
that,
the babies?
Yeah.
That's soothing.
Because Rome is in there with us, so now like it's not like we sleep with the AC on and then the white noise loud, and I can fall asleep.
So now I just you get good quality sleep then for whatever time you sleep. You too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. So you're mindful of like your sleep patterns.
Mm-hmm. I tend to go to sleep like around 11. And then wake up like at 5:30 or 6 o'clock.
But you feel rested. You get up feeling rested, or you get up feeling tired?
No, I'm for the most part rested.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that's another thing I've been managing this year. I was really working on sleep quality, because you read a lot about it. And I think we're very sleep deprived. I think because we go into this like mindset of hustle. Nobody talks about recovery.
Yeah.
What do you mean you have to recover?
It's weak. Oh, if I recover, if I slow down, then the other people are gonna. That's where you have to tell yourself, who cares? Who cares about the other people? Because they're gonna slow down too.
Yeah,
you're gonna go back up, and then you're gonna slow down. Everyone has to recover.
I mean, you got to think of how can I make up ground on my competition, but without compromising my recovery and my body health.
Yeah, because that's. I mean, damn, it's your
so
body and your
because
health.
honestly, brother, most of the times in an 8-hour shift, most people just probably bullshit like 80% of it. So if I can come into work in 8 hours, just smash it, be in the best peak state possible, 8 hours, and go full force, make my calls, follow up, send my emails, like no bullshit, no surfing on the web, no Instagram, like going through it, I'll do more than anyone in a 12 to 14-hour shift day. So I think it's more of just being efficient. I think we have like this inability of being efficient nowadays. We're actually the opposite. Like 80% of our time is like wasted.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I took a stopwatch one time, and this was when I was on Rima's team. And I'm like, I'm going to click the button every time I do something that's real estate related, meaning that I can make money. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stop the stopwatch whenever I'm doing something that's considered a waste of time. In a 12-hour shift, I worked 2 hours.
Dang.
That opened my eyes to all of it. I was like, okay, now we need to really be efficient.
Because you can kick some ass, man, within those 6 to 8 hours if you're efficient, and then you can go home and live. You know, you can clock out and then enjoy your life with knowing that you gave 6.
So
8
then,
hours.
is it really a balance? It's just probably our inability to be efficient.
Yeah.
That's why we're constantly having to pull from other great areas of our lives, like our kids, because we don't have the structure to be efficient during the day.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of the work that I know as real estate agents, you could get done in 4 hours, man. You can do a lot of damage in 4 hours. Now, I wouldn't recommend anyone go home after a 4-hour day.
I know. You're like,
I know. There's a lot of other the parts of real estate that matter. But in 4 hours, if you realistically put your mind to it, you can do it in 4 hours. You could do enough to where it would sustain your business.
Okay.
Nice.
So going back to your routine. So we have the
Journal, we meditate, and then I go to the gym.
Okay. And
After
how long are
meditation.
you usually? What's
Now, bro, I've got it. So I worked on efficiency. I used to work out for 2 hours.
Okay.
It was an hour of weight training. Then it was about a 45-minute cardio session. And I started to notice I was wearing down.
Okay.
I would come home after my work, like my cardio session, and I would have to take a nap. That's how I felt. Damn. Now I pushed through it, but I would feel like I need to take a nap. So like something's not right. I'm either not having enough calories in my system. So let me get a little more technical with it. So then I was like, got my in-body done. I was like, okay, I'm burning about 2,000 calories. I'm not eating enough because of my work, so I'm only eating about 25 to 2,800 calories.
Okay.
So with my workout and my resting metabolic rate, I'm burning everything that I put in. So extra cardio doesn't do anything for me, right? I'm already kind of in a deficit. Extra cardio just puts me more in a calorie deficit. That's why I'm feeling exhausted. So I eliminated the cardio, strength training, added more calories in the morning, and then right after post-workout, I have a little bit more oatmeal, and then
You're good to go.
I found like this peak state, and that's it, man. But the food is as critical as to the gym time.
So it's what you put inside. Damn it, no more pizza.
Well, don't even talk to me about that bullshit. I don't allow people to. That's where people. It's crazy, bro. People want a shortcut on nutrition.
Yeah.
You're a Ferrari. If you have a Ferrari, right? You have a car that you own. If you're mindful of that, you want to take care of it, right?
Yeah.
Make sure it gets great oil. It gets tuned up, right? You want to take care of it. Put good gasoline in it. Maybe in this market, because you want to be cheap, you might put 87.
Yeah, you might.
In a good gas market, you're probably putting 91, 89. So it's like, why do we do it for all the other things? I'm sure all your equipment you guys treat really well, right?
Yeah.
You clean it. Yeah. There's a way you put it back, and you have a system with it. So why do we neglect our bodies?
So true.
Why do you think?
Bro, I think it's from as a youth.
Yeah.
I think from a young age, our parents put no value in it, so then we saw no value in it.
Like, we know it's bad, but like, oh yeah, I know it's bad, but
if
you know it's bad, then why are you eating it?
Go to the freezer aisle and go to our what did we eat as kids? I know we've all eaten it. Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Go look at the ingredients of a Hot Pocket. Just do it, man.
I gotta look at it because sometimes I'll look and be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, cheese. Pepperoni. All right, no. But then it's like all the other stuff. Oh, I don't know. I know it's probably all like
Exxon, Brion, Brittle.
We don't know. We're like,
I don't even know. Something gum, like 5 different gums. Like,
what?
There's no chewing gum in here. Food coloring. It's like, isn't it supposed to be just ham and cheese and bread? Like 3 ingredients?
So it's really just the growing up. It's just the stuff that we were taught. Same thing as far as like mindset with our parents, go to work. I think
also it's a good feeling. So we were taught, remember as kids, your parents say, oh, let me give you some candy to shut you up.
Yeah, that's true.
Go look back at about how like food and how food tied to psychological behavior.
McDonald's.
Like reward was a pizza.
Yeah, reward
was going, for us, it was reward was chicken sandwich at Burger King. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah. The long ones?
Oh, yeah. With the mayo? Yeah, like a lot of mayo in it. But that was the reward. So guess what, bro? When you become an adult, now you can have that reward every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So guess what you do? When you're stressed, I need a little reward, right? It makes me feel good.
Let me go get some to eat.
Bro, it's the fucking number one addiction that nobody talks about is food. Yeah. It's not drugs. Drugs, yeah, it does its toll on people. Trust me. Kills a lot of people. Food kills more.
Because it's in front of us everywhere you go.
Go to the grocery store. It's sugar, carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates. Is it hard to live a clean lifestyle? No. It's just hard to get there. It's hard to get the habits. That's where people
to break
struggle.
the habits,
Exactly,
right? It's because most people have the habits. And then we think it's crazy when the one friend who ate good or ate right in vegetables or their mom didn't let them have candy. Oh, that sucks, man. Your mom didn't love you, all this stuff. And come to find out, they're the ones that were teaching them the right way. They were getting them to eat healthy. Don't eat this. Don't drink soda. It's not good for you. And yeah, growing up, they're laughing at us. Or at me now, like, damn. Okay, I get it.
Or like what I always get is, dude, live a little. Like
live a little.
I am living. If living was to eat a burger, then nah, fuck life. Like I'm not even here. So I can enjoy a burger. No, man, living to me is different. We all live a different way. Yeah. And you know me, bro. I just put it out there. I'm not the type of person to come out and talk about like you have to do it this way.
No, not at all.
That's my way, right? And if I'm an example for someone and someone looks at me and says, shit, you look great, you perform well, you're good at what you do, like how do I get there? Is nutrition a big part of it? 100%. I'm going to tell them. Because that's where most people don't want to get to, that conversation.
Yeah.
That's when it comes to food, man, when it's such a sensitive subject for most people, it's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's one thing about you is you didn't ever put it on, like, this is what you need to do. It was always like you said, you were the example. You're just the example to everybody else. So as long as you do it, you execute to hope to inspire the next person. So that's cool, man. That's
it, man. I literally, honestly, like I thought about it because like my wife was like, let's all do a coaching program. And like you just mentioned it too. I was like, I just want to live by example. There's just so much noise out there now, bro. Everybody's a fucking teacher of something. Yeah. And nobody's a master of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it, 10,000 hours, right? It's like 10,000 hours to master something. I've done 10,000 hours of real estate. Ask me if I feel like a master.
Yeah. Have you mastered real estate after 10,000 hours? No.
No, bro. But I'll tell you, I've worked my ass off to be the best at the craft.
I feel like it takes time. It's just a lot of the coaching and all that. That's usually when you've done 20 years, and now you want to teach more than go out there and walk around.
I would feel more comfortable teaching after 20 years because I know I did it and I put some time into it. To teach after just 4 years of real estate, I feel like I'm a fraud. Internally, I wouldn't feel good about it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, I know I'm the shit when it comes to what I do, but doesn't mean that I'm anywhere near some of the people that are in this space.
Absolutely.
Right? So I respect the grind. I respect the space. And for me, it's like most of the people. And here's what's crazy too, is everyone talks about or has somebody they watch or follow that's inspired or whatever they call them, motivators, or I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, the guy that.
Bro, all they do is throw up what they read.
Yep.
You can read the same book. Mm-hmm. It'll be as more, if not more, impactful. But the major problem is everyone asks me, hey, what book did you read? They'll get the book, right? They'll get the book. And I'm looking at their life, and we have a conversation after they've read it. I said, what did you implement? Oh, I'm on another book. They didn't even digest what they read and implemented something to change their lives, bro. Here's a book for everyone. David Hawkins, Letting Go. Okay, this book has changed my life in terms of, like, before on a podcast, I would get nervous. I would sweat. I would shake. I would do things. And that book allowed me to just let go, like feel that feeling. Like it comes, right? Because by nature, it's a camera. It's, people are going to hear this. So there's this like anxiety that comes. Mm-hmm. It's about acknowledging the feeling, but also at the same time, letting it go. Not letting it create a thought behind it that will create the emotion that you don't want. It's a phenomenal book.
Audio? Does it have an audio? Because... Yeah,
you can't do the books.
I can't.
You too.
I struggle with reading. Period. Just to even the stuff that I really like, I'll read it and then my mind just goes.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. It's been like that since I was a kid.
Same,
Probably
me too.
ADHD.
Yeah.
So, but audiobooks, I can legit, I'll listen and do my things, and I'll be focused up here while my hands are just moving. But I'll listen, and yeah, I'm more of that. That's how I take it in.
So it's funny because I buy the physical hard book, and then I buy the audiobook. And the
But you'll
audiobook,
never open the.
so I
It's
tried.
for collectibles,
and that's the thing,
man.
I've tried, but as soon as I start reading, like I can't comprehend what I'm reading, or it doesn't stick. When I'm driving, I put on the audio and it just retains like.
Yeah, there was a poll I just saw recently on LinkedIn, and the guy was asking. I thought it was a great poll. They asked like, where do you do audiobook, and where do you do it? And everyone was like 70% of them was in the car.
Yeah.
So think about what the impact of like audio in the car has become, which is I'm glad that so many people now are like educating themselves in the car versus listening to the garbage radio.
Yes.
Recycle songs over and over and over and over.
Well, let's talk about music. There's nothing. I'm like back. I like circle through like Tupac and B.I.G. this morning because I don't think I have anything else left.
He's like, I got nothing. That's
well,
why
today
podcast,
I actually
man.
stopped the music midway. That's like it wasn't even making me feel good. By the way, music has a lot to do with your energy state.
Yes.
FYI.
Yes.
And it's crazy, bro, because the reason why it didn't make me feel good is I forgot it was Hit 'Em Up came on by Tupac.
Oh, yeah.
It's very vocal.
Hit
It's
'em
very
up,
violent.
yeah.
Like it's very
First
violent
cool.
song.
Yeah.
And I could feel my stage. I was like, oh, let's
It puts you in that state of mind.
yeah, it puts
You're
you
like,
in that
damn, I'm ready to-
No, bro, it puts you in an aggressive state of
Yeah.
mind. Put some Beethoven on, like some piano classic, and try to have road rage.
It's like, yeah.
Try to
it
have road rage, bro.
calms yeah.
You're gonna let the person pass. You're like,
Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead. You too. Yeah, you too. Everybody. I'll just stop here. I don't have to go.
So if you listen to the opposite, which right now a lot of the guns, the violence and stuff, is going to make you think that way.
And what we watch, man, like I think like Call of Duty, and I know I have a lot of people that play.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Sorry.
I don't judge you at all. Most of you are my good friends. But for some people, it reinforces a lot of violence, man.
They're like, I got him.
Yeah,
I
but
can't wait
in
to-
the headset conversations they're having with other players, I've
Dude,
heard it. I've heard
dude.
of little kids
Yes.
say some grotesque things, man. I'm like, if I
Blow
was
his
to say
head
that,
off. I'm like, damn,
a little
dude, this
kid.
little
Yeah.
kid's like, oh, you missed it, and then they get mad at you for missing a shot. I'm gonna shoot you in your face. I'm like, oh god. I'm like,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that world, that industry. Again, it's very visual. We're seeing the games, the music, the TV, Instagram. Right now, my Explorer page is filled with people fighting nonstop, and it's not like UFC. It's street fighting, and
which I don't know.
I don't know how it came on mine, but I think someone sent me a video and I watched
I
it for 2
feel
seconds.
bad when I see somebody get hit.
Dude,
There is a part of me as a human being, like in a UFC setting, it's a fight. It doesn't bother me, but I can't watch someone get beat up on the street.
Nah, I'm just like, dang, man.
Gets
It
me
makes you feel
angry.
like shit.
Yeah, it makes me upset that people do that.
So people are consuming that in the morning when they're waking up because I'll see it and sometimes I'm like, dang. And I didn't realize it right now until now that our emotions do change when we see a video of a baby who, maybe was killed versus someone graduated college, someone who is homeless. Like all of that can affect your day in the morning.
Yeah.
So if we're waking up consuming the wrong stuff, that right there is already, kind of already setting us up for just a bad day.
I call it the autopilot days, when you get up. And I don't have those because we choose to have a different day. That's completely a choice, by the way. But getting up in the morning and most people are like, hey, they're already on the Instagram. The negative things have been reinforced. Like the people how about the older people that have that like behavior of putting on the news first thing in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Like thinking about that, like right now it's like death after death, a shooting, then a restaurant robbery. It's like you just reinforced every single fear in your life, and now you're gonna go out to the world with that fear, and not only are you gonna have that energy, you're gonna give that to other people. And that's what the media does, man. Media is so powerful nowadays more than ever, I think, with the social media channels.
Yeah.
Look at the COVID, man. Look at the fear that they put into people.
That's when I met you during that time.
Yeah, bro. I remember, I know you guys remember, I remember going to the grocery store and looking at the terror in people's eyes.
Yeah.
And then I remember turning the corner and a terror in my heart when there was no more meat for my meal prep.
Yeah, no. He was like, oh my God.
For my protein,
They're
bro.
like,
I was
sir,
like, what am I going to do?
only 2 packs per person. You're like, what? This is only for 1 day.
Yeah, like with my gains, bro.
No.
So I was like, I had like tilapia and shit.
Shutting down the fitness. Okay, so you being where you're at, that's where I actually originally met you. I would see you at the gym early in the morning.
In shape.
Yeah, in shape, right? Yeah. That's when I did go to the gym.
That's when he was in shape.
Yeah, that's when I did go.
Or somewhat in shape.
That's before I even did any business. That's all I really had. Yeah. So that's why I went to the gym, and I would just I had nothing else to do. So that's why I would always go to the gym. But during that time, how were you able to kind of, I guess, get through the goals? Or because again, like you said, that was your vessel. That's where you escaped. So was it hard for you in the beginning to be like, shit, what am I supposed to do?
I don't know if I'll get arrested saying this, but we had an underground gym.
Oh,
my good friend.
We had the underground barber.
A good friend and one of the probably best personal trainers on the planet, Jeremy Scott. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Probably seen him. He's in the Animal Valley. I think he's with iCrush Fitness now.
Okay.
He has a home gym. And we were good buddies, and he opened his gym up to me, home gym. So we would go together and work out like 6 a.m. when nobody was awake, so nobody could see us. It was so funny because we were discreet about it. Right, because like if people saw we were working out together, they would probably call the cops.
Yeah, no.
So I was blessed, man. We had limited like
equipment.
Yeah, but I mean we made it work.
Speakeasy gym.
Yeah, I actually came out.
Yes.
I actually came out in better shape, probably the best shape of my life. Now probably the best shape of my life, but I came out in really good shape out of COVID. So as people were like complaining about COVID weight, my ass was like lean. I was ready to go.
Because you made a decision. You knew, okay, I'm an adult. I can take whatever's happening, it's up to you how you react to it. But you knew that you still had your goals, you still had your habits, your discipline. And then, again, it was your vessel. So you had to make sure you had to show up while the rest of everybody made an excuse. Well, I can't.
And Hick, check this out. I think if you want something bad enough, the universe will open the doors.
Yes.
Because so the universe aligned me with my friend to do that. Because that's what I was obsessed about that. So that's one takeaway from that. It's like, hey, if you want something bad enough, you're going to find a way to get it.
Yes. And the universe will give you those options, those opportunities, but you have to be the one to take action and be like, well, I can do it, but technically I'm not supposed to. Well, it's up to you. You're an adult. You're not doing nothing illegal.
Well, the same thing goes to any agent, because I know a lot of the agents that watch this and will watch this are not from Beverly Hills, don't sell luxury. Like, don't limit yourself like you can't. I think a lot of people don't even take the leap of faith to come here. I moved to Studio City, spent another $1,500 out of my comfort zone on my rent just to be closer to this place. And I'll be honest with you, when I first got here, there was some insecurity, right? Because my parents always told me that we didn't belong. I'm here to learn and grow, and I know I'm going to crash and burn, but I'm going to get back up and keep moving along. And then when you start living here and start to know the people, they're just like us. There's guys with tattoos. Yeah. There's guys that look like Sam with hats. There's guys that are in full-blown suits. There's guys in slippers that are worth over like hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's like, but they all just took the risk and they saw it. You know what I'm saying? In their minds, they didn't see the limitations that most of us see. They saw opportunity. So there's 2 things you can see in Beverly Hills. I always tell this to people. You could come and feel like you don't have anything. You could come and feel like lack of, not like them, or you can come and see opportunity.
I like that.
The lens is yours, bro. And so I decided to come in here and look at it with opportunity. But 5 years ago, Vic would look at it with like, I don't have the anxieties of what I don't have, the lack of.
So it took 5 years for you to get here. And it's with envisioning it was one of the most important things that my big takeaway from what you said today was you have to, want it. You have to already see it for yourself, whether it's writing it down or just seeing it. But you have to get to that point. And then from there, you have to make the adjustments. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable, move to another place, pay more in your rent, in your mortgage and stuff like that. These are all stuff you have to invest to get here. And yeah, that's my biggest takeaway is envision it and then go after it. I mean, there's a few things that I want to go after, and that just after having the conversation today, I'm going to make sure that I start journaling and meditating in the morning. Because ultimately, like you said, we care about the camera, the equipment, your valuable things that we think is valuable, but we don't take care of ourselves. And that's the one thing that's going to get us the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I like how you summarized all of it. It is the visualization. It's having the goals, and I feel like we'll touch on goal setting just real quick. Too many people have too many fucking goals. It's like way too many. So people have lists. I'm like, write your goals, and then somebody one day brought me like 20 goals. I'm like, well, how do you narrow this down?
Yeah, most of them could go into like one.
Yeah, it's all is one. It's ultimately one. So I feel like just don't make it hard for yourself. Maybe a goal, you could put a goal in each pillar of your life that you feel like is very important: a spiritual goal, a financial goal, a career goal, and a physical goal. Simplify it. Easy,
all
bro.
in their categories.
And then that way, everything that you do is in alignment with those goals. Yes. But that's why you have the goals. That's what people don't realize. The goals are not just to hit them and feel excited. It's goals to give you direction, so you don't feel lost. So you don't have to say that, I feel lost all the time. You feel lost because you don't know where the fuck you're going.
Yeah,
I would too. Give me no map and just say, Vic, start walking.
Like where?
And ask me where I'm at in about an hour. I'm going to tell you, dude, I feel lost. But if you say, hey, Vic, here's the directions. You're going to go to this building. I'll get there.
Yeah.
And if you ask me where I'm going to this building, here's my direction. So it's more of a roadmap.
I like that. So if you do not have goals, or if you have too many goals, narrow them down or put them into the categories. What were the categories you said?
The way I have it is fitness. So your body will be a pillar, spiritual pillar, your mental pillar, and then your relationship pillar. So that'd be like 4. That's 4 pillars.
Yeah,
that's probably the 4 ones that I pay attention to the most.
They all matter. If you guys have a relationship, married, not married, relationship, if your partner is not aligned with your goals, with what you want to do, get them aligned, man.
Get rid of them.
or get rid of them because
100%, bro. And don't be attached to that shit.
Yeah. Because you obviously you're not with the person for the right reasons, or you don't want exactly the same things. So someone's going to have to give and then regret later on.
Yeah, and then be real with what your partner should expect from you.
Yes.
Like, here's the thing. You're running a business. You're an entrepreneur now. I'm sure you sat your wife down and you told her this is the plan, right? But when you have a plan and you communicate that with your spouse, it makes it easier to go through the hardship.
Yes.
Like, I sit my wife down, like, I'm grinding the rest of the quarter. She knows what that means. That means, like, we're not going on a vacation. We're not doing this, but I know why, because my husband's going towards this, and I shared the goal with her. But guess what? Now she reinforces the goal in me. And if she loves you, she's with you on that goal. And she will constantly be the reminder for the goal. So my wife will always remind me of the goal now. So not only do I remind myself, my wife's like, I thought we were doing this, right? Now she's bought into it, bro.
And then with that, the reason why I talk about that is we're all older now. We have relationships, and if you get that part right, man, you can take on the world, bro. You leave that house with no fighting. Everything is great, loving, and everything. The energy is great. No bullshit social media in the morning, no fighting and stuff like that. You can go and take on the world, give everything for the 6 to 8 hours, crush it, and then go back home and live again. We make it complicated. I make my life complicated. I know that for a fact. I make my shit complicated. So now, so again, the big takeaway for here would be envisioning it, but uncomplicate your life. Like, take away the stuff that we're kind of adding daily that we don't need to, and it could be as simple as meditate a little bit, get off your phone, put that timer on, stay away from the people that you don't really like, or that type of stuff. Just at least that's what I feel. What was your takeaway?
Manifest. What was the other one? I knew I had it as manifest and take action.
Take action. I love that. And then I'll end with this, man. Love. It's one of the things that's been the word that's been floating in my mind for this whole year. I think that's where my season was this year of love. To really love, man. Love everyone. Like, honestly, brother, that's all it is. That's how you have a better relationship. Love your wife unconditionally, with no conditions. Like, you don't love her because she's a certain way. You don't love her because she does something. And when you start loving and pouring into people, bro, it's crazy what returns. The return on the investment of love is, like, bigger than any other real estate or wealth investment you can make. And I'll end with that.
I do have one question, because when I first met you with Bobby, he said, "Oh, meeting with Vic," and then you're the notorious Vic. So in my head, it's notorious B.I.G. Is there any reason why notorious?
No, it's actually
hold on, because that's how you know we from the East Side, bro. We're thinking of rap, and it's
it's Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, the notorious. It was the suit walk.
Oh,
I would do I would put on badass suits, or like they were Express cheap suits at the time because that's all I could afford.
Hey, I like the Express, bro. I used to think that was like,
but I would make the Express suit look like it was a tailored Armani. But yeah, man, it was that walk, and then and then when you hear Conor McGregor's story about he manifested it, you have to watch his documentary. He would sit and manifest the UFC ring and stuff. He's big on the law of attraction. There's one interview with him and Tony Robbins. Mm-hmm. You have to watch that. Like,
we're gonna watch it. Yeah, we're definitely gonna watch it.
Or listen to it on your drive. And for me, it was so impactful. I was like, man, I could create one too. And then I just something told me go to the Instagram handle, and it was available. And now it's forever the notorious agent.
Yeah. All right, guys, so that is it. So we are officially over with episode 7. I'm still we're episode 7, which is dope. It's still cool.
Sick.
With notorious agent Vic from Antelope Valley to Beverly Hills. Appreciate you guys watching this, listening to it. And Vic, where can they find you and follow you on social media?
At the Notorious Agent, and that's across the board. You just at the Notorious Agent, you'll find me. My Instagram is probably where you want to do most of the following. It's where most of the content goes. The Notorious Agent, also on YouTube, LinkedIn's Vic Arutyunyan.
All right, now we'll put all the links here. And just here at the office, if for agents, are you guys looking for agents to come on board? So if there are agents out there listening and they looking to sync?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for asking, man. Yeah, we are. We're active. I'm constantly always actively looking for talent. I'm looking for agents who are looking to take their business to the next level. Agents out of the valley that want to maybe come and tackle Beverly Hills. Agents that are just looking for a brokerage that's going to support them with the resources, the technology that we have, and also, be able to work with guys like me and some of the guys who are running this company, who are leaders and innovators of the space. So if you guys are looking for that, and then I don't think it will be out video won't be out, but there's a party at the Sofitel this Thursday.
Yeah. I was
gonna say.
Well, I'll have a clip out. So if you have anything coming out this week, or
yeah, we have a party this Thursday at the Sofitel in Beverly Hills. I'm gonna give you the invite. You should come, actually. I was just thinking about it.
I'll talk to the guys.
You guys should definitely come.
Just
I think
mingle.
It'll be good. Yeah, mingle. Look at you'll feel the Beverly Hills vibe.
All right. There we go. Appreciate that. So again, thank you guys for listening, for watching this. However, and if this inspired you at all, go ahead and hit the like, share it with a friend that could use this inspiration. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode, guys.
Thank you.
Peace.